like if we go into a little bit of more of the philosophical, part of this protocol and crypto in general, I've noticed, and I've also seen like people post that or allude to that in some of the comments in a post that I made, announcing us talking. And that isn't there a little bit of a sort of intellectual friction between sort of the core, or maybe I shouldn't say core, but one big crypto ideology, which is fixed money supply. And, Ether has some form of that, I think, right? But what you do is sort of you allow that to multiply by a lot. So you're basically sort of creating money within crypto. How do you view that?
Yeah, that's a good point. So I think like you could sort of see it in aggregate as, I think because we're locking Ether as collateral, it's like, and the fact that the LUSD created is always backed one-to-one by Ether. I mean, I suppose, yeah, you could consider that Ether almost as coming out of the money supply in a way, if you're then issuing LUSD against it. So there is some balance there. We're not like just kind of printing money with no backing. So that would be like, an inflationary system. But actually, Ether itself is somewhat inflationary. It's not fully hard cap supply. Yeah.
But you are creating more purchasing power within the crypto space, right? Because people can actually use those. They hold the Ether, and then they can use sort of the new money that I will say that you have printed to buy other cryptos, driving up their price.
Yes. That's true. Yes.
Which is inflationary if we use sort of the price inflationary sort of way of talking about inflation.
Yeah, I take that point.
Do you get discussions around this topic a lot, or is it something that basically lives besides each other? Because I've mainly talked to one stablecoin project before, and also it was interesting because it was more of sort of a recognition, like but there's not really sort of this friction. Like it sounds like there are two types of crypto people. Maybe the people who are super hard about the fixed money supply are just more vocal.
Yeah, I think like particularly the Bitcoin community, this is like a really big kind of passion of theirs, or kind of core value. Bitcoin has this hard cap supply, and Ether is slightly inflationary. And I think one criticism the Bitcoin people have of Ether is that it's like kind of more subject to a social consensus among the kind of people who develop and promote Ethereum. It's like they may change the inflation rate in future, right? Whereas Bitcoin supposedly wouldn't, and there's supposed to be more of a guarantee there. But I think everything is a social consensus in some way. Like even the kind of Bitcoin system, it's still a social consensus that everybody runs the same software that has this hard cap supply. And if enough people decide to change or think it should be inflationary, it would then change. So it's just that there are more people who do prefer a hard cap supply in Bitcoin, so it probably is less likely to change.